Ah. Nice, nice. Who else wants it? Let's walk down here and take out some steel. Does the job. Hey, Hickok 45. Yeah, here I am on the range shooting again with another AR-15. Yes, and we will talk about this baby. Let's go back up to the shooting tank. But this is another AR-15 in a manner of speaking. It's kind of a hybrid because you might recognize part of it. Let me unload it. It is actually my Colt 6920 lower. Recognize that? Maybe you do. See, Colt. There it is. And it is a different upper that was sent to us by from Gibbs Arms. Okay, they contacted me, want to know if I was interested in testing and shooting one of their uppers, their side charging upper, and I said, yeah, sounds pretty interesting. So they sent it. It's ours. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming, and it seems to work. I've had it for several weeks and have shot it off and on, and it seems like it works. Now, I'm not necessarily going to be testing this specific Gibbs Arms, how many thousands of rounds, of course, it will take, this particular upper. What I mainly wanted to bring to you is, well, this upper, but also this concept, the side charging AR. Okay, because I really hadn't had experience with it. I've got some side chargers, I've got the SCAR and everything, and I kind of like it. And I thought you guys might not, some of you, if you're just new into firearms especially, or maybe you've been hanging around quite a while, because I wasn't that familiar with them, I hadn't really tried one, that this is becoming apparently more and more an option. In my research, I have learned that there are a lot of companies making these, you know. So you know how the old standard AR works. You got your charging handle here. I've got it out of the Colt, and you know, you pull straight back. It's up here, and you got to pull back. You all know what an AR. Well, let's see. Let me do something here. We got time. I was going to take it off anyway and show you. Double check it if you're clear. It is one of the semi-awkward things about an AR. Now I know if you're highly trained, you probably laugh at that. What do you mean awkward? Been firing one of those things and fighting with it forever, and of course this is the beauty of an AR. If you're not familiar with that, you know, they come apart just so simply. Let's keep all this straight. I'll put the original, you know, Colt bolt back in there, and charging handle. Don't look like a fumble fingers. I know how to do this. Done this a few 100,000 times. So okay, so one of the awkward aspects, slightly awkward I guess you could say, of an AR is the charging handle. Now obviously you shoot them a lot and you're trained, it's not that big a deal. You charge it, you bring your hand back here, and you know, you put a round in and all that kind of thing, and you got your bolt release there. Now right now, let's say I want to lock my bolt back. Okay, yeah, most of us, we're accustomed, we want to keep our hand on the pistol grip. And you know, just like that, that's kind of a natural thing to do, you know, whatever you're engaging here. And okay, I want to lock the bolt back. Let's see, how do I do that? Well, I end up just bringing it down, locking it back. A little bit of awkwardness there sometimes. And of course they make adapters, the BAD, where you can do that with your right hand. It kind of circles around and all that. So there are ways to overcome that. But it is one of the more awkward aspects of an AR sometimes. It can be. Okay, whoops, let it fall underneath the chamber. Guess it won't break it. So that's it. You know, if you've never had an AR, you know, that's how you charge it. Your charging handle. All right. So side charger makes a lot of sense. There's a certain attraction about it, I will tell you. John and I, you know, I don't know. I guess we didn't expect to be impressed with this thing, but it's kind of interesting, I have to say. And to further your education, you do realize when you are pulling the bolt back, the carrier, what it's catching on is that end there is catching, it's around the gas port. It's catching on that little lip there. You see the little lip right there, and so it catches on that, not on the gas port. It's right there. That's why you've got that little recessed area. So it rests right against that, and you're pulling it all straight back. Okay? So let me get a bullet here as a pointer in case you weren't seeing that. It's that little ledge there. That's what is taking the pressure. All right? Pull straight. All the tolerances are pretty tight there, and it pulls on that. Okay? So folks who are making these had to figure out how to get a side charger bolt handle that would go through the side. Imagine that, a side charger, and would contact in the right place. And I don't know how much you can see in there. You can see you just got the little handle and a little piece of metal in there. It flows right under the gas piston there, or the gas tube, I'm trying to say. Okay, right just under it, and it pushes against that same ledge. All right, so when I put this in there, let's go ahead and you'll see there's no charging handle. Bolt still needs to be forward. Put it in, and it's pushing against that same ledge to push it outward. Okay, the only difference you might notice, and I don't know if the other companies that are making these are doing the same thing, I'm not sure, is the little cam pin is a little different. If you're familiar with an AR, you can tell right away that's different, you know, from this one. I won't take them out, I don't need to, but it's got a different shape to it. It's thicker on this side, and in the literature it says that's to optimize the function of the side charger. And I tell you the truth, I'm not 100% sure why that is. I think it rubs against the side slightly. It's to take, because you're pulling on this one side instead of straight back, and I think they just want a bigger, thicker bearing surface there for it to ride, you know, along the track, I think. But some of you that are more expert, you can add comments about that, but I think that's the main reason. I put the other bolt in there, and it seems like it would work fine with the standard cam pin, but I was afraid to fire it. I thought, okay, I don't want to mess it up or cause undue wear or something on it. But anyway, the cam pin is really essentially the only difference. Any mil-spec carrier and bolt is supposed to work with these things. So let me put this back in. It feels a little, I've lubed it enough. I think it should be all right. Okay, and then you don't have the charger handle, so you get this little latch here to kind of close down and keep the dirt out, basically. All right, there we go. Pin out. So for me, it's usually easier to get the pins back in when I put the whole thing on together and put them both in at the same time, which I shouldn't have done there. I didn't get the little latch down there that's supposed to keep the dirt out. Okay, all right. So, interesting look, isn't it? It looks a little different for a traditionalist, you know, in terms of ARs. It reminds you of the BAR, if you remember the BAR, the way that side charger was. And it seems to get a good grip, you know, on the bolt. You don't feel like it's not got a good bite or, man, this thing isn't going to last. It really does feel solid. And again, this is from Gibbs Arms. They're in Arizona. I'm assuming that everybody that's making these, and I saw online a long list of people who are making these, and I don't know really at this point who makes the best ones. You know, if you guys that do a lot of gals that do a lot of 3-gun shooting, you go through thousands and thousands of rounds through these, and you're constantly rebuilding and building the best AR you can possibly come up with, and one that is the fastest and most convenient, and are going to this. Because I saw some forums where some people were talking about building an AR for 3-gun matches, in fact with one of the Gibbs Arms and some of the others. And so apparently it is something that people are looking at pretty hard, at least some. And you folks that are really experienced with them, I'd be interested in what your experience is with them, and what folks, just like when I was shooting a lot of IDPA or IPSC matches, USPSA matches, you know, we were really clued in to all the best ammo and firearms and just everything for that. But you guys are really clued in to what's working in the field, what's breaking, what some of the disadvantages are to having a side charger like this. You know, when you're running around and shooting and jumping around and getting up and firing hundreds and hundreds of rounds in a match, you know how they're working for you, I guess what I'm getting at. For my limited shooting with it, and John's, we kind of like it. Okay, now again, this is the only one I've ever held for a regular AR-15. You know, I've used side chargers, you know, several firearms, as you know, and have them, own them, the SCAR, namely. But and the BAR we shot and everything, but I've never had an AR with one. It's kind of weird, but I tell you what, it is really convenient. If I'm going to put around it, I want to lock the bolt back. You saw what I was doing before, and you might be more adept at it with the standard charger, but you pull it back, you know, and you can just put your thumb on the lock there, you know, all one-handed. I never had to move my hand. I like that. You know, it's really neat. It's just so convenient. So, and I know that they make these for right-handed people or left. You can put it on the right side or left. Getting at, they're available. I don't think this one's reversible, but you can get them for either side. It's not reversible, obviously. What else do I know about it? Wow. Now this is the whole upper. They sent us the whole upper. I think a lot of people just buy just the parts you need, you know, with the side charger, and then build your own, put your own rails on and all that kind of thing. But you need the part to start with that, and that's what a lot of people are doing apparently. I wasn't interested in building a firearm. I just, when they wanted to send it, I said, well, send the whole upper if you will. So I got the bolt and everything. So we're talking like, I think around $800 for the whole rig, this upper and all that. But if you're just getting the, I think the upper part that you need to make and build assemble a side charging AR, I think it's about $250 or something. I don't know. And again, I don't know how the other companies are charging. I haven't researched it that much in depth, but my experience at this point tells me there's a real attraction to it. Okay, and I don't know if you have fired one, what you think about it. Again, I'd like to hear. I'm going to shoot a couple more shots here. It's pretty interesting. Put some ears on because these things can be loud. We're shooting some. This is standard. Well, let me see. What are we shooting? It's Federal, of course, and we appreciate all that nice ammo. It's yeah, 55 grain. Okay. Imagine that, 55 grain, 5.56. Whoa, that's unique. I just really like being able to put my hand on there like that and not have to, you know, I can use my left hand to manipulate the things that need to be manipulated over here, and I can focus on mag release with this finger, this hand, and the trigger. There's a real advantage to it. I guess Eugene Stoner, you know, he just couldn't see a way to do that. Back in the 50s, I guess, but you know, it'd be nice if he had, wouldn't it? So, I got one in, and I've got that's a Vortec Spark sight on there that I move around various firearms, and I think I've got it sighted in pretty well, unlike some days when I don't have my sights on. Let one get away a little bit off there. The trigger, I'm still getting used to the trigger because I replaced the trigger. I put a Geissele in there about, I don't know, a month or two ago or longer, and it is nice having a nice trigger in there. Poor little pumpkin, I'm sorry, but it was your day to be shot. Let's put a couple more on him. That's the way it goes. Oh, that shot through to the plate there. Yeehaw. Let's smoke a little pot. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. Let's smoke a little more pot. Oh boy. Hopefully the authorities didn't see that. Go, there it is. 2 liter. Yeah, one other thing, oh, I see a paint can. I think I can pop him without hitting the steel there. Yeah, nice. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh, I don't want to shoot that paper on this. That's set up for another video, actually. I think the trash can, the burn barrel, did not have enough holes in it. We've not had any trouble with it as far as that goes at all. It's been working fine for us for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And I don't know how many rounds I have through it, several hundred, but again, we're not going to try to do a torture test on it. Just wanted to mainly bring it to you and show you what is available. I think there might be even bigger handles if you want a bigger handle now available. I read where some folks were talking about if you have a really large optic on it, you know, and you're pulling this back, you could skin your knuckles and have a little bit of a issue there with the optic being in the way. So that's something to think about if you're going to, you know, go this route, I guess. Like I said, now this whole upper is not cheap. Probably as these things become more common, more people are making them, you know, the price will go down like it does on everything. But right now, I guess they're an innovation in a way, and there's not that many of them. Once it gets to a point where Colt and Bushmaster and Daniel Defense and everybody, and some of them may be, they're just offering this as a standard option. You know, you go to the catalog and you want a side charger, or you want the rear charger, or you want the standard, you know, system or not. So then the price will obviously become more normalized, I would guess. I don't know. I'm anxious to see what people say about it, because I don't go to the 3 gun matches, and to me, this is pretty attractive. I don't plan to convert all my ARs really, but it's pretty cool, I'll have to say. It's just so convenient to be able to operate from over there. You know? One thing John and I were noticing as we were shooting it earlier is you essentially do not end up with a forward assist with this one. This is a non-reciprocating bolt, which means as the bolt is moving back and forth, the handle is not. So you're able to, with the bolt handle, pull it back without any trouble, even if it's dirty or whatever it is. But we put a round in there, mess with it. I mean, the only pressure is rearward. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't help to push on it. If you got a hang up or something, or the thing is really dirty and you need to try to help it, assist it forward, you can't do it with this one. I guess that might be one of the advantages of the reciprocating bolt, where it's more attached and it's moving, and if you had you need to, you know, you can use it as a forward assist, I guess. So I don't know. Again, you folks have more experience with that, and with those, you might have some insight into that. So it seems to me that would also provide you a forward assist if that was important to you. So kind of interesting. Like I say, the only difference really is obviously the way that's designed and cut out and everything, but in the bolt and carrier is the cam pin. And in my reading, it all indicates that any mil-spec bolt and carrier can be used. And in fact, I think we could put the other bolt in there and it would work, but you know, with the other cam pin, because it seems to function fine. I just didn't want to shoot it in case there was something there I'm not aware of yet. I know my limitations. I've done stupid things before, and so I try to be careful to limit the number of stupid things I do. So now this particular upper, and I notice they sell, obviously, they sell this upper, and I think different configurations, Gibbs Arms does. This one's kind of heavy. You know, some of you might not like this particular upper because it's got some weight to it. It's kind of chunky in a way, but it feels good. I mean, I kind of like it myself, but people who are looking for the lightest AR probably would not, this particular one. But again, and it's free floated and everything. It's low profile, gas lock, and all that stuff. You know, it's what I guess everybody's doing now when they build an AR, to get it as accurate as you can and all that sort of thing. But it has got a little bit of weight to it. So, but anyway, and I changed it. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Again, you know, my idiosyncrasies, my preferences, my biases. It came with a nice muzzle brake on it. Okay. You know, shot it a little bit, and it sounded like my Scar with the muzzle brake that came on it. And you know, I've cursed that thing enough, and so I told John, I'm not gonna shoot that thing anymore with that. And I wrote them, and they sent me two just standard, like that's an A2 muzzle or a flash hider, and another one that's pretty nice too. A couple of different flash hiders. I said I want a gentlemanly flash hider I will send you back the muzzle brake, which I'm going to do because I have no interest in it, okay? Especially in 5.56, I don't need a muzzle brake. I don't want the extra noise, and so I like it much better now. It's a lot, it may not be tamer, I guess, in the sense of maybe recoil or muzzle rise, but it sure is more civilized to shoot. So I did that. I didn't even want to shoot it a lot with the muzzle brake on it. So anyway, that's from Gibbs Arms. There's several companies that make these things. We appreciate them sending us one. I'll put a link in the description. But I noticed in the literature online, I saw a list of, I think as I recall, about 10 different companies that make them in the reciprocating mode, and then I don't know, 8 or 10 in non-reciprocating. So they're out there and pretty interesting. So if you weren't aware of that, if that's one of the negatives for an AR for you, awkward to handle, this certainly makes it a different proposition. I tell you, like I said, you pull that bolt back and push the bolt lock at the same time, and it's just really handy. You just don't have to take your hand off that. I like it. So I don't know that I'll convert to them, but it's attractive. What else can I say? Life is good.
Pretty neat. It's pretty smooth. One thing though, I noticed that even though it feels significantly heavier than most ARs, it doesn't really feel like there's a lot of reduced recoil. Really, it feels about the same as a normal AR. Not that the 223 really has much recoil, anyways, but you can't notice a big difference in shooting it. But it's pretty handy having this side charger, especially where you can manipulate the bolt and the lock and all that stuff. It's pretty neat.